everyone, wherever you are. This might interest you if you've ever dreamt of covering a really long distance on your favorite bicycle. Canada has the distance you're dreaming of, I guarantee it. This is Bicycle Touring Talk 93, and we are in Fergus, Ontario, just another place that was home for a night during my 2017 bicycle tour, coast to coast across Canada. I am George Schlackeck.
The one and only.
It was Tuesday, July 18th. I woke up early after having pitched my tent late in the previous evening in a wooded area that was supposedly fair game for camping. Thankfully, the tent was dry, which allowed me to pack it up before someone could show up and ask for money or tell me that the camping site was actually closed. There were picnic tables near the arena, but I opted to keep going. I stopped at the McDonald's on the south side of town. A breakfast combo meal seemed like a great idea, and it allowed me to jump on the internet for a bit. Barbara was going to arrive in Toronto less than 24 hours later, and so far we had no bike for her. I checked Kijiji for possible options, but it seemed quite difficult to find something other than overpriced, mint condition Walmart bikes. Walmart and other store brand bikes are very basic, and they could work if everything is tuned perfectly right. We could get a new one for around $150, not including a rack. The problem is that it might not be a great ride for longer distances. Often those bikes are assembled by people with limited skills who get paid by the piece, which is a good recipe for a poorly tuned bike, or worse. After breakfast, I tried to take a route that didn't involve Highway 6, but somehow ended up back on that road anyways. In Guelph, I made another stop to finish off my trail mix and figure out the best route into the GTA. It seemed to be Highway 7, another route that was going to be super busy. The ride was not bad. While the shoulder was narrow and traffic pretty heavy, most drivers were considerate. At some point, there was a grassy area between the road and a set of train tracks where people had pitched two tents. The first one was covered by a tarp, but on the other end a bicycle was sticking out. Were those a couple of touring cyclists who stopped here for lack of a better spot? I'll never know, but in Canada's more populated areas, homeless people also tend to sleep in tents and get around on bicycles. I came through the communities of Rockwood, Acton, and then Georgetown. Then finally, I entered the city of Brampton, where I had lived until early 2009. I was blown away by the traffic on what turned out to be Wohlfahrt Boulevard. Six lanes of madness, jam-packed with vehicles, and not a trace of a bike lane still. It was just like I remember it, but it seemed busier. Eventually, I found the Tobacco Creek Trail, which took me right into my old neighborhood with some annoying interruptions to cross yet another six-lane road. I eventually found Kennedy Road and followed it to Mississauga, where my hotel, the Super 8, was located. This place brought back memories because it's right next to the Husky truck stop, a place I had frequented back in my days as a trucker. It hadn't changed much. Check-in was easy and the room was a step up from those I had stayed in up north, even though the cost was about the same thanks to online booking. After unloading my luggage in the room, I relaxed for a while. Having just cycled across vast areas of northern and western Ontario that were sparsely populated, the GTA was overwhelming. I decided to check the internet for bicycles again. This wasn't going to be easy. There wasn't a suitable used bike anywhere in sight. I sent Barbara a text and found out that she was already on her way to the airport. Later, I went to Tim Hortons for some chili, coffee, and a peanut butter cookie. I went to sleep early that night. Barbara's flight was scheduled to arrive at 6:35 a.m. and I was going to pick her up, so I arranged an Uber. Everything went smoothly the next morning. The car arrived just in time, and I found Barbara right away at the airport. It was so good to see her after a whole month by myself on the road. We arrived back at the hotel with plenty of time to take advantage of the free buffet-style breakfast. Barbara had not slept on the 3.5-hour flight, so we both went back to bed for a while. But then I couldn't sleep anymore. We had the room for just one more night, and Barbara didn't have a bicycle. Online sites like Craigslist and Kijiji didn't look promising. People were hoping to unload store-brand bicycles for top dollar. Anything better was either the wrong kind or size, or too far away from us. Finally, I came across the SportCheck website. They had a fairly basic bicycle on sale for 40% off. A brand new bike for less than $200, even with the rack thrown in. After Barbara woke up, we figured out the bus route to Heartland Center and went to get the bike. The bus ride was chaotic. 2 stopovers for a 5-kilometer trip. But it was worth it. The store had a little shop in the back where the bikes underwent an inspection before being released. We found the right bike almost instantly, paid for it, and went for lunch while it was being prepared. Later, we made our way back to the hotel, riding and walking. The bike was a basic but solid Nakamura. It would be perfect for 10 days of riding. After the trip, we would probably pass it down to one of my daughters who live in the region. Later in the evening, we met up with my younger daughter, Jennifer, for dinner. We had a great time and returned to the hotel quite late. There's still a load of laundry to do in preparation for next day's journey. The plan was to find the safest way to the lakeshore and then take the waterfront trail toward the Niagara region. This is where Jessica, my daughter, and her family lived, so we had made plans to stop by. As you can see, my tour across Canada was not straight from west to east, most direct route. There were a lot of detours, and this was one of them. More about it in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed this one. If so, bing, hit the like button once and consider hitting the super thanks or the link to buy me a coffee down in the description. If you like. Thanks for everything, including watching. It's much appreciated.